Spencer Britten, thank you so much for making time for me today.
My pleasure. Thanks for chatting
Yes.
with me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really wanting to talk to you today about Memoirs of a Gaysian. Now, as you probably
hmm
remember, I attended Memoirs of a Gaysian
Yes, of
last
course.
year,
Of
and
course, yeah.
I absolutely loved it. I love the blend. The
Oh,
blend of the different genres of music was very exciting to me, and the way you applied it to like cultural references, cultural struggles, and things like that. I want you to elaborate on this show because I'm so excited that y'all are doing it again for the Pride Festival. Can't wait to come out. I'm buying a bunch of tickets, maybe to give them away to people to come. But
that's so cool.
talk a little bit to me about how y'all started the project.
For sure. So, I was the creator of the project. It was kind of my like brainchild. My goal as an artist is not to sing perfectly. It's to connect with the audience, not to sing the perfect high note or sing the perfect coloratura, to like connect heart to heart and to like take the audience on a journey with me. That's always my end goal as an artist. So I kind of like reflected on like what I wanted to do with my artistry and like what I could pull from my own experiences. And then I kind of realized that May is Asian Heritage Month and June is Pride Month. And I was like, what a perfect opportunity to blend the two together and do like a Asian Pride and LGBTQ Pride like fusion. And I was like, okay, how do I make this happen? And then the piece that really like sparked the inspiration, that was the catalyst for this recital, was the song cycle by Dylan Tran, which I sang one of the pieces from. It's entitled Ba by a poet and novelist named Ocean Vuong, who I loved his books for a long time. And I heard a friend of mine debut Dylan's song cycle, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so gorgeous. I need to do something with this. And then so I started piecing things around this song cycle. And then Chuan, who I do the recital with, showed interest in joining on doing this recital. So we kind of collaborated and made this like cool cabaret version of the original recital. I also have a solo version of the recital
Oh.
that is more rooted in like contemporary art song, and it's more like your traditional recital. But this version is like a duo cabaret that we, like you said, infuse all different types of genres that like kind of speak to our experiences and our stories, and like kind of speak to what we want to highlight culturally as
Yeah, this
well.
was very exciting for me, that aspect of just kind of different genres of music, because y'all were performing music that I had never been exposed to. And I consider myself super
Yeah.
cultured, But
Yeah.
these songs are so gorgeous, and I'm getting chills just thinking about the delivery of them again.
Mm.
I really appreciated the presentation as far as the look of everything too. It was so, it got under
Cool.
my skin in such a big way. So let me ask you,
Yeah.
as far as androgyny and the way you present yourself
Mhm.
and the way Chuan presents
Yes.
himself, how hard is it to go over that line? Because I mean, my guess is that, there's a certain vulnerability that goes with it. A vulnerability that you don't really see in a lot of classical musicians,
Mhm.
and all of it seemed much more personal. So, how do you find the courage kind of to just go out and be yourself like that? And what does it mean to go out and just show truly who you are through this realm, through this art form?
Yeah, it's definitely challenging in the industry and can definitely be super, super intimidating. I know going through school, I was told like when you walk into an audition, you want to be like a blank canvas so they can project whatever they want on you. And there was a couple moments in my career that were kind of like pivotal in like embracing my authenticity and who I was as a human. One of them was the Messiah Complex that we did during COVID with Against the Grain Theater. Essentially, it was a all Canadian online Messiah, and we had one singer represent every province, and I was representing the province of British Columbia, my home province. And then we were trying to discuss the music video concept. The director, Joel Ivany, he asked me, okay, who is Spencer and how do we express that through this piece? And that was the first time anyone has ever asked me that, because so often we're interpreting a character.
Yeah.
And so we're like, how do we make the character come out? And this is the first time someone's like, okay, who is Spencer and how do we like highlight that? And I didn't really have an answer. I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I should like know this right away. So that was kind of like a catalyst in me exploring who I was and how I wanted to present myself in the industry. Another one would be, as so many singers, young singers do, you try and check the boxes. Okay, I sing this aria, I presented this way, I should get the job, I should get these things because I worked hard. And eventually I learned that although we're told the harder you work, the more reward there is, and that's just not the way performing works all the time. So I learned that no matter how much I bended myself or tried to mold myself into the boxes they wanted me to fit into, it wasn't going to be enough.
Yeah, it never is.
It's never enough. So I was just okay, if I'm going to do this, and I want to enjoy doing it, that's why I perform, that's why I do opera, that's why I do musical theater, that's why I do these kind of recitals, is I want to enjoy it. And so it became a core value of mine to do it as myself. And of course there's interpreting characters and whatnot, but I'm walking into the room as Spencer, and that was important to me.
This was important to me too, you know what I mean? This is what was so exciting about it, because this wasn't just a presentation of something where you had this cultivated character. It was really you just kind of exposing you, and the vulnerability of it is what I'm so excited for audiences to see. Because yes, as opera singers, we experience a lot of vulnerability on stage, even if we're becoming another character. But to expose yourself, is showing your life experiences. And that kind of theater, in my opinion, is rare these days. That's why everybody needs to come out and watch a program like this. Not only to be exposed to new music, but to show that you too, yourself, can be vulnerable with the public, that it can move the public in a different way that it can if you're portraying some other character. So, I mean, I was very inspired by the program, Spencer. I really was. What was important for me is I very often feel like people are expecting me to be a certain way all the time. And honestly, after seeing that concert, as I've gotten to choose repertoire for other concerts, I have gone out the box even more to sort of choose things that are more Latonia and not just the diva Latonia Moore. So I found that very inspiring, and I think the audiences will too. Now let's touch a little bit about on the queerness and that against your own personal culture. Just elaborate a bit,
For sure, yeah. I'm very lucky that my family was very open and accepting, but it's not always that case. And some of the topics we touch on, especially in the Dylan Tran piece I mentioned, is the layered and challenging relationships we feel. Obviously, it's not all butterflies and rainbows. There's the nitty gritty in there, and we definitely include that in our recital. We go through the whole spectrum of emotions, from love and joy to anger and frustration and depression, but we don't leave you that way. We make sure that you leave uplifted and hopeful, for sure too.
Oh yeah, and boy did we ever. I mean, it was an incredible program. So what can audiences expect from this program?
They can expect a lot of recognizable tunes. They can expect a lot of things they've never heard before. They can expect a lot of joy and a lot of opportunity to reflect on some more difficult topics, for sure. And this is the reason why we read, the reason why we expose ourselves to new stories, is to gain perspective. And this is Chuan and mine's perspective on experiencing life as that comes from immigrant families, navigating the world as queer people. And it's a beautiful, nuanced blend of being Asian and being queer and what that means to be in the world.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, for me, I can just tell audiences straight up, y'all should be expecting gorgeous singing. I mean, absolutely beautiful and visually beautiful. To see it put together with the music. So I'm so excited. I will definitely be there with bells on again this year. I am thrilled.
Can't wait to see you.
This program is June 12th at the Society Hill Dance Academy, right? And it's through ePOP, for those that need to know, the East Pass Young Opera Project. And it's through their Love Notes series, yeah? What's the official title of this project then?
Love Notes Special Edition, Memoirs of a Gaysian. So it's a collaboration between ePOP and Wear Yellow Proudly.
Absolutely fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Wear yellow proudly. That is fantastic. So everybody, please come out June 12th, 8 p.m. You're in for a treat, and I will see you all there. All right.
Yes. See y'all there.